Good evening. I'm Justin Farmer.
I'm Jovita Moore. It is a first in Georgia history. The state attorney general and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation have brought criminal charges for violation of the state's open records law.
Now, the target, the former press secretary for Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed. The case began when Channel 2 investigative reporter Richard Belcher requested water bills of city politicians. Now, Richard's with us now live at Atlanta City Hall.
Yeah, Justin, producer Tara Boyd and I just wanted to ask a simple question. Are the elected officials here at City Hall paying their bills on time? It took weeks to get the information. Not until we got some text messages provided by a former watershed employee did we realize that Press Secretary Jenna Garland was working hard to delay the release of that information. Tonight, Ms. Garland is facing criminal charges.
The law needs to mean something.
State Attorney General Chris Carr, after Channel 2 and the AJC revealed text messages showing the response from one of then-Mayor Kasim Reed's top officials. The issue? Our questions about politicians' water bills. When we asked for the payment records of a city council member, Jenna Garland texted a watershed employee, "Be as unhelpful as possible, drag this out as long as possible, and provide information in the most confusing format available." Morning, Jenna. Like to talk to you about these emails, these texts, where you clearly attempted to evade the law. Garland ducked our questions, but now her own words have caught up with Mayor Reed's former press secretary. The GBI served her with these two citations, the first ever accusations of criminal violations of Georgia's open records law. Both clearly reference Channel 2's role in seeking public records, which authorities contend Jenna Garland illegally defied.
Ignoring the state sunshine laws will come with a heavy price.
The president of the Georgia First Amendment Foundation says the charges send a clear message.
Just because you're a public official doesn't mean to say that you can ignore the public's right to know what's in the documents.
I'm thrilled about that. I'm thrilled that Georgia's open records laws have teeth enough that we can say people are being held accountable.
Professor Greg Lisby of Georgia State University says Mayor Reed regularly showed a blatant disregard for the public's interest. He believes Jenna Garland took her cues from the office culture.
I cannot imagine that she did this on her own without somebody somewhere at least leaning in a certain direction that led her to the conclusion that she could do this and get away with it.
Late today, Ms. Garland's attorney sent us an email statement which reads in part, "We are surprised and disappointed by the Attorney General's decision today, given the facts of this case and my client's full cooperation with the investigation. While my client may have spoken out of frustration," the statement says, "she acted in good faith at all times." And a spokesperson for City Hall emailed, "The Bottoms administration is committed to restoring public trust between Atlanta residents and their government." Live at City Hall in downtown Atlanta, Richard Belcher, Channel 2 Action News.
So, Richard, let's talk about these charges. How serious are they, and what would sentencing look like possibly?
These charges are both misdemeanors. The maximum sentence under a misdemeanor would be a $1,000 fine and a year in jail. No one I have spoken to thinks there is jail time if Ms. Garland is convicted or pleads guilty.
Still uncharted territory here. Channel 2's Richard Belcher with the investigation. Thanks.
In April, Channel 2 Action News and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution filed a complaint with the state attorney general over Atlanta city records.
It claimed a culture of political interference and systemic noncompliance with the state's Open Records Act under former Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed.
In September, the city agreed to a settlement in which it pledged to overhaul its open records practices and create a new transparency ordinance.
In October, Channel 2 and the AJC announced the donation of all the $80,000 we recovered in attorney's fees to the Georgia First Amendment Foundation.